Today, we're taking a trip to the northeast of England to a place called Newcastle upon Tyne. Now, it's a city with a pretty fierce reputation and an iconic skyline for sure. But its real story? Well, that's not just in what you can see. It's in the layers of history stacked one on top of the other, creating a city that's really defined by what's hidden.
So that got us thinking about a really intriguing question. What if a city's true character, its soul, isn't defined by the things that stand tall, but by what has vanished, what's been buried, or what's been totally forgotten?
Because honestly, that is the story of Newcastle. It's a city that's almost built on absences. Its name comes from a castle that isn't even there anymore. Its origins are tied to a bridge that disappeared centuries ago. And some of its most world-changing ideas? They came from people who history almost forgot.
So let's dive into that central idea. How can a city be built on things that are missing? I know it sounds like a riddle, but in Newcastle, it's the literal truth. You don't have to look any further than the name itself, Newcastle upon Tyne. The Newcastle that gave the city its name, this wooden fort built way back in 1080, is completely gone, vanished. It was replaced by a stone one, which was then replaced again. The amazing castle keep you see today, that's actually the third version. The city's very identity is built on something that's not there. And this whole idea of absence goes back even further. I mean, way further. Before it was Newcastle, it was a Roman settlement called Pons Aelius, and that means Hadrian's Bridge. The entire Roman fort wasn't there to guard a frontier, it was built to guard one specific bridge over the River Tyne, a bridge that disappeared 16 centuries ago.
Okay, but this is the really incredible part. That ancient, absent bridge, it's still physically there. Buried in the riverbed, right under the modern swing bridge, are the original Roman stone piers. Just think about that for a second. The city's entire existence rests on a ghost foundation you can't even see. A structure that vanished, but still shapes the river today. Wild.
And this idea of hidden foundations, well, it's not just a metaphor. In Newcastle, there is a whole other world existing right under your feet.
The Victoria Tunnel is a perfect example of this. It's like a 2.5-mile-long time capsule. It started out in the 19th century as this really ingenious underground railway, using gravity to haul coal down to the ships on the Tyne. Then, a century later, it got a brand new purpose, saving lives as an enormous air raid shelter during the Blitz. It's one hidden space that tells the story of two completely different eras.
But it's not just tunnels down there. There are hidden rivers. The Lort Burn, for instance, now flows entirely underground in a sewer. And it's the scene of one of the city's most fantastic stories. When King Charles I was held prisoner here in the 1640s, he supposedly tried to escape by boat down this filthy underground river. He got stuck on a grate and was recaptured. A king foiled by a sewer grate. You just couldn't make it up.
So the hidden layers aren't just physical things. Some of Newcastle's biggest contributions to the world were ideas and inventions that have become so commonplace, we've totally forgotten where they even came from. Take a look at this date, 1879. It might not seem like a big deal, but it marks the exact moment when this northern city literally switched on the modern world. Because in 1879, Mosley Street, right in the heart of Newcastle, became the very first street anywhere on the planet to be lit by electric light. That's a global first, happening not in London, not in New York, but right here. And who was behind it? Not Thomas Edison, the guy who usually gets all the credit. It was Joseph Swan, a local inventor who gave the world's first public demonstration of a working incandescent light bulb right here in Newcastle. He is one of history's great hidden innovators, his story so often overshadowed by his more famous American rival. And he was not alone. Sir Charles Parsons invented the steam turbine here, which completely revolutionized naval power and how we generate electricity. And if we go back even further, there's Mary Astle. Born in Newcastle in 1666, she argued for women's education centuries ahead of her time. People often call her the first English feminist, another radical thinker from this very unexpected city. So we've got hidden structures and hidden ideas. But what about the intangible layers? You know, the stuff that makes up a city's soul. Its identity, its stories, its unique character. Let's start with that famous name, Geordie. Where did it come from? Well, the most likely theory is a political one.
During the Jacobite Rebellion in 1745, Newcastle locked its gates against the rebels and declared its loyalty to King George II. They were for George, and the name just stuck. It became a badge of honor.
But the city's character is also built on much, much stranger things. For example, why is there a vampire rabbit guarding a doorway right next to the cathedral?
And the honest truth is, nobody really knows. It's one of Newcastle's great mysteries. Was it just a bizarre joke by the architect? Some people think it's a Masonic symbol, a hare, not a rabbit. Maybe it was meant to scare away grave robbers. The point is, its real origin is completely lost. And in its place, this fantastic urban legend has just grown and grown.
The city's folklore also has a much, much darker side. In 1650, a wave of paranoia led the city to hire a professional witch finder. His method was just horrific. He used a fake retractable needle to prick suspects. If they didn't bleed, they were guilty. The result was one of England's largest mass executions for witchcraft, a truly brutal, hidden chapter in the city's past.
And that brings us to our final section, and to a place that really ties all of these hidden layers together, the town moor. It's maybe the ultimate symbol of Newcastle's surprising history. First, just consider the sheer scale of this thing. At 1,000 acres, the town moor is this vast expanse of open land right next to the city center. It's bigger than New York Central Park. It's bigger than London's Hyde Park combined. How is that even possible in a major modern city? Well, it's because the town moor isn't just a park. It's a political fossil. The grazing rights on this land, which are held by the freemen of the city, are from a medieval institution that's actually older than the English Parliament, and they are still used today. You can literally see cattle grazing in the heart of a 21st century city. This is also where those witch trials happened, and in 1831, a grim cholera village was built there to quarantine the sick. Just layer upon layer of history. So, in the end, the town moor really sums up the whole city. It's ancient, it's vast, and it's a surprising layer of history that's been hiding in plain sight all this time. Just like those Roman bridge piers, the hidden tunnels, and the forgotten innovators, it's a huge part of an identity that you have to look a little closer to really see. And all of this leaves us with one final thought. Newcastle's story is a great reminder that every city has its secrets, its ghosts, and its forgotten foundations. So the next time you walk through your own town or city, look beyond the obvious. What hidden layers is it built on?